Hello, everybody. It's Tim from the Amazing METS podcast, and welcome to the first episode on Speaker. So, on today's episode, we will be talking about the METS draft, the METS situation they're in right now, and what the METS need to do. So, let's start off with the METS draft. It started this Monday. We had a pretty solid draft, in my opinion. We got a lot of high school talent, a lot of college talent. We got a lot of everything else. But yeah. So, let's get straight into it. We started by drafting Brett Beatty, third baseman from Lake Travis High School in Austin, Texas. He is an absolute stud. His high school stats were just insane this year. He had over a 500 average. He had over a 2,000 OPS, which is just insane if you guys didn't know. But he's a third baseman. It might be a little jam with him and Mark Vientos are another top 10 prospect for the Mets. But that's definitely a trade we can make down in the future, trading Mark Vientos. But I definitely think this kid is a great choice. People compare him to Nolan Arenado defense wise. He is a great defender. He's been told he has the best bat in the draft, which I can see. He is an absolute beast. He was a sport athlete in high school. He played basketball, and he actually did pretty well there. But yeah, so let's go on to our next pick, and he is Josh Wolf. He is a right-handed pitcher from St. Thomas High School, another high school pick from another Texas high school, Houston, Texas. But yeah, he's a right-handed pitcher, something we could use as we just traded some of our right-handed prospects in that Cano Diaz trade. Being Justin Dunn, but he is 18 years old. He is an absolute stud. He pitching for his high school team this year. He posted a 1.06 ERA and 39 innings pitched. In his junior year, actually last year, he did that, striking out 53 batters. In his past season, he posted a little bit of a higher of a 1.52 ERA and 69 innings, striking out 126. But yeah, he's been dominating in some perfect game tournaments, which I definitely like. But yeah, I definitely love all these first two picks. Wolf's fastball sits around like low 90s, topping out with a 97 mile per hour fastball, but he's usually around the 93 to 95, which is definitely good to work on because you always love to have a great pitcher. And he is only 18 years old, throwing mid 90s. He's only going to get stronger. He hasn't fully developed yet, which I love. He uses the entire strike zone with it and like moving the ball around the throw off hitters' eyes and all that, which he's like a very smart pitcher. He's a very smart pitcher, as all the reporters called him. But his fastball has a full assortment of pitches. His slider is like high 70s, around like 70, 79, and yeah, his curveball sits 70s to low 80s, but it breaks like a 12-6. It's not like a Kershaw 12-6, but it's definitely something we gotta love. His changeup, he has a little bit of a changeup. It's not his best pitch. It's probably one of his weaker pitches. It sits at low 80s, and while it needs very much work and still in progress, Wolf is able to pitch enough to fade and tumble to project fringe average to average. This right-hander has presence on the mound. He does not shy away from any pitching inside, which I love. That's what Jacob deGrom did a lot of last year in his Cy Young year. So you gotta love pitchers who pitch inside on batters and aren't afraid to go inside on them. Yeah, and he just attacks and pounds the zone. He was committed to Texas A&M, which is a pretty good baseball school. So yeah, I like these first two draft picks. But going into our next third pick, we're only gonna be going over the first 5 rounds, as the other ones we don't know if they're gonna sign with us. They most likely will, but we're just going to go with our next pitch with Matthew Allen, a right-handed pitcher out of Seminole High School. This time he was picked from Florida. But, yeah, he is 18. He's actually 18 years old. But, he was committed to it. Seminole High School in Stanford, Florida. While not an unknown coming into the 2018 season, Matthew Allen wasn't exactly at the top of his draft boards. But this season he just stunned all the scouts, and thanks to his strong showcase in the summer circuit, his stock has a massive helium, and Allen is considered probably one of the best pitchers in prep pitchers in the 2019 class. And I definitely like this pitcher. The right-hander Allen throws from the 3/4 arm slot, kind of like a little bit of sidearm, but not like fully. But his mechanics are loose, slow effort, and like a little bit repeatable in a way through some elevators, and have expressed concern that his arm action in the back might be leading to some control problems. But hopefully that isn't the case. I think he'll definitely work on that stuff in the minor leagues. He's only 18. He has plenty of time to progress in the minor leagues. Definitely get that stuff up. If they do see a problem in his arm mechanics, the Mets have a great minor leagues pitching staff, and they can definitely like help him bring it up to like a full pitching, maybe like bring up the 3/4, just like to pitch regularly. And he definitely has a lot of time to work on that if he needs to. But I don't think it'll be too big of a problem. But if it does, he has plenty of time to do it. Yeah, his fastball sitting in the mid-90s, topping out at 97. So we have 2 pitchers in a row topping out at 97. So signing these first two picks and not letting them go to college is huge. If we let them go, this is just a waste of a draft. But 3 straight high school draft picks is a little risky, but we have to get these deals done because these guys are top talent and we can't let them go. Yeah, he has a solid fastball. He is able to command the pitch pretty well, working up in the upper half of the strike zone, but hopefully that isn't too big a problem later. While the pitch does not have much run on it, he throws a downward plane in a little bit, but his 12.6 curveball is pretty nasty. It's just at 80 miles per hour, and it's considered like a little bit of a plus pitch. That's what he's kind of known for, other than his really fast fastball. He has a little bit of a changeup too. He doesn't have a fourth pitch, but his changeup sings low to mid 80s. But it's not his best pitch. Allen was a commitment to University of Florida this year, which again is a tremendous baseball program. So all these guys, 18, 19 years old, these guys are studs. So I'm excited to see these first 3 guys. And going to our 4th pick, we drafted Jake Magnum, an outfielder out of Mississippi State. He is 23 years old. This is our first college pick. He was in Mississippi State. Jake Magnum comes from a long line of athletes. Actually, I did a little bit of research on this. His grandfather, John Magnum, was a defensive tackle for the Boston Patriots. His father, John Magnum, was a defensive back for the Chicago Bears, and his uncle was a tight end. So he comes from a football family. He's definitely the baseball player of the family. But on a unrelated note, Jake did not follow the family business as he stayed playing baseball. But when he chose Michigan State University over Ole Miss, Auburn, Alabama, and he slashed 408, 458, and 510 62 games as a freshman, winning the 2000 SEC Freshman of the Year, and was named to the first All-SEC team. He experienced something of a sophomore slump, which is kind of normal. Pitchers do some research on you, but he still put up solid numbers: 324, 380, 385. Not quite like his first season, but he's still named to the second All-SEC team. And the Yankees drafted him as the 30th round that year, but he turned it down. And hopefully he comes to the better New York team, the New York Mets. So yeah, in his junior year, he got a little bit of an up year, not quite like his freshman year, but he batted 358, 332, and 384. But so in his final season this year, 375, 427, 490, and 56 games before super regional play. He's a switch hitter, which I like. Magnum uses contact-oriented approach to slash the ball to all around the field, which you gotta love. Switch hitter who can get on base easily. But I can definitely see him getting through the minor leagues very quickly. If he can keep up what he did on his minor league status, college status, put up these high 300 numbers, have an on-base percentage well over 400, I can definitely see him making it pretty easily to the major leagues. Maybe not as a starter right away, as we have Michael Conforto, Brandon Nimmo, and a bunch of other guys right on the cusp of making it to the majors. So I could definitely see him fitting into that bench role, kind of quick maybe. But so that was our 4th pick. Always good to have a little extra outfielder, but our final pick that we're going to be talking about is right-hander Nathan Jones. He's 22 years old. He's a right-handed pitcher out of Northwestern State. Nathan Jones was a 3-time letterman of Loyola College Prep High School in Louisiana. In his senior year, he won all-district, all-city, all-state honors, hitting .309, posting a 2.76 ERA and 66 innings. So he definitely dominated high school, but that's not what we're looking at right now. His first year, he was pretty solid. He led the team with 5 saves. He developed into a early closer role. He had a little bit of a down year, actually posting a 3.10 ERA in 40.2 innings. In his sophomore season, he transitioned into a starting role, which isn't the easiest. He had a very bit of a weird phase. He's going to a closing role, starting role. It's not always the easiest, where he posted a 4.86 ERA and 83 innings pitched, which was a team high for them, which is definitely not the reason we drafted him. But for this season, the reason why we drafted him is probably because of this year. He posted a 2.78 ERA, so he's definitely showing a lot of growth in his game lately. But I'm definitely loving this pick. Always good to have an extra pitcher, especially if we're going to trade a few, if we're making a push, which we'll get into later in the episode. But that's all we're going to be talking about for the draft today. But just a few people that we got drafted a little bit after round 6. We got Zach Ashford, center fielder out of Fresno State. Luke Ritter, second baseman out of Wichita State. Connor Walsh, left-hand pitcher out of Kent State. And Joe Gionard, first baseman out of South Florida. And the final one I'm going to be talking about, because the other guys probably won't be signed. Scott Oda, right, outfielder out of University of Illinois Chicago. But overall, I think we had a great draft. John Heyman said we had the 5th best draft scouting, which is definitely a compliment, as we didn't have the best picks, in my opinion. We got a solid pick, getting the 12th pick, but he ranked us higher than teams that had top 10 picks. He had the Orioles, who got that catcher, and the Marlins. But basically, everyone else had a really higher pick. But we were definitely one of the only teams that were in the middle of the draft that had one of the best drafts. I think Brody did a great job with his first draft, but I think he did a tremendous job there. But only if we had Kelenic, it would be such a great with Brett Beatty, Jared Kelenic, and Jake Magnum. That would be such a great core outfield, but we know where Jared Kelenic went. But that's what we're going to be talking about. Hopefully these players pan out quickly. They're all around the same age, so it'd be kind of cool to see them come up all around the same time. Brett Beatty, I could definitely see him coming up at age 21. He is an absolute stud. I really love his game, and I think that was a great pick for the 12th pick. And Josh Wolf. It's always good to have a right-handed pitcher coming out of high school, but I'm very excited for these guys, and it's just great to see all these guys in the Mets future. And so we're going to be going into our second topic of the episode. We are going to be talking about what is up with the Mets right now. What is the situation in right now? We are in a very tough situation at the moment. We are in the middle of the NL East. We don't know what we're going to do right now. The Phillies are a little bit ahead. We're a little bit behind. We had a chance to tie up with the Phillies as they went on a little bit of a losing streak. But what do? We lose a game. Mickey Callaway blows another game the other night, not letting Noah Syndergaard finish the 7th inning, which I am extremely mad about. He should have just let him finish the inning and brought in the bullpen in the 8th and 9th inning. But getting off an unrelated note, so we're going to be talking about what the Mets should do this trade deadline, because it's definitely been a question my followers have been asking me for quite some time. But what I think we should do, I think we should wait a little bit, see where we're at the trade deadline, because we have a very, very, very tough June schedule as we face the Yankees and a bunch of other teams that are that are on fire right now. So it's gonna be difficult in June, but if we can manage to pull off these games and finished a little bit above 500, and